Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kazuri Alameen. And once again, I am among the breathing this morning. Grateful to be into a day that I've never seen before and a day that I will never see again. So I will continually strive to have the best intentions in my life to make this day the best day of my life. For yesterday is gone and tomorrow is definitely not here yet. My word of wisdom for this morning is I want to ask you a question. Are you trustworthy? We hear this word every day in some shape, form, or fashion, but I want you to personalize it. Are you trustworthy? The definition for trustworthy is able to be relied on or as honest or truthful. Able to be relied on or on as honest or truthful, I should say. Able to be relied on as honest or truthful. How does that definition integrate with your thought processes this morning? Are you trustworthy? Sometimes you go down the highway of life, ladies and gentlemen, and life would snatch the trustworthiness from us. If it snatched the trustworthiness from us, we get into self-doubt. We all taste this thing. As you haven't, you will taste it at one time or another. But where you at in your life right now? Because once again, yesterday is gone, tomorrow is not here yet. Where you at when you hear this kind of question? Are you trustworthy? Why should we trust? I would like for you to write these questions down. Of course, I do my groups. I go into greater detail, but I wanted to share these with you all this morning. So please, madam, please get you a pen and a piece of paper and write these questions down in your private time. Answer these questions to thine own self. It's important to be true. Once again, let's go with the definition right quick. Trustworthy, able to be relied on as honest or truthful. Where are you at this morning? Why should we trust? As a humanity, why should we trust? How much do you trust yourself? How much do you trust yourself? If you were to write a book about your life, what would the title be and why? If you were to write a book about your life, what would the title be and why? The answers you will give will come from your life experiences. How often do you tell the truth? As we're talking about trustworthy and being trustworthy in this segment today, how often do you tell the truth? This is something only you will know. And last but not least, what causes you to have self-doubt? What causes you to have a self-doubt? Once again, life can be it's an adventure. You're going to be ebbing, you're going to be flowing, you're going to be up and down, in and out. You want to strive for discipline. But there are some things in life that me and you both have only been predestined for us to grow through, which is totally okay. And that can affect where we are as far as being trustworthy. But that's okay too, because we learn and we live and we learn each and every day. So I would like for you, when you're in your private time, to answer these questions, please, and please, sir, because it's going to show you where you've been, where you at, and where you must go if you're honest with yourself. Quick recap. The definition for trustworthy: able to be relied on as honest or truthful. Are you able to be relied on as an honest and truthful person? This is something only you would know. The questions underneath this: why should we trust as humanity? Why should we trust? When you hear that type of question, what answers come to your mind? Why should we trust as a humanity? How much do you trust yourself? How much do you trust yourself? If you were to write a book about your life, what would the title be and why? If you were to write a book about your life, what would the title be and why? How often do you tell the truth? Once again, this is something only you would know. Nobody can tell it for you. Nobody can answer it for you, nor is anybody supposed to answer it for you. How often do you tell the truth? And what causes you to have self-doubt? Sometimes, once again, life can snatch our confidence. That can interfere with your self-doubt. It can increase it or decrease it or balance it. But when you hear this type of question, what causes you to have self-doubt? And when you have clarity on what causes you to have self-doubt, are you working through it or have you worked through it? Because you're going to taste it before you leave this planet. We all do. I do myself. How are you working through self-doubt? How does that affect your trustworthiness? How does these questions of any shape, form, and fashion affect you in your private thoughts? And I say private thoughts by design, ladies and gentlemen. I've been in the mental health business for 40 wonderful, delicious years. And when I say private thoughts, that is by design. That is not a mistake. Why, Mr. Gajuri? Because we all got a private side. We all got a public side. As a spiritual being having a very, very brief human experience. So when you're true to yourself, good, bad, or indifferent in your private thoughts, that's where authentic transformation takes place. I'm not talking about your public thoughts, what you want the world to see. I'm talking about when you by yourself, for yourself, with yourself, through yourself, and you're honest, whether it's good or bad. That's when healing, that's when transformation takes place. When I say it's private thoughts, that is by this strategic design. Because once again, we all got a private side and we all got a public side. Not that it's good or bad, but it's real. It's very real anyhow. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, are you trustworthy? Are you able to be relied on as honest or truthful? We all got room for improvement. And once again, the biggest room in the world is room for improvement. So based on how you answer these questions to yourself, if you're not pleased or you're working on some things, congrats. Because life is about growth each and every day in some shape, form, or fashion. But once again, we hear this word every day, but sometimes we don't peel the onion with it. He ain't trustworthy. She ain't trustworthy. He betrayed my trust. She betrayed my trust. Let's look at it from a different perspective. I've seen some great things happen in the groups I do individually and collectively, and using this formula that I just shared with y'all right now and with these questions. So stay up, stay strong. To thine own self, you got to be true. To thine own self, you got to be true. It's very important for the development of your growth. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen. Stay up, stay strong, be true to yourself. Peace and blessings.